Welcome to Inner Peaks. We're glad you've decided to visit us today. Before we get started, there are a few things we need to review with you. First, you need to know that climbing gyms are simulated outdoor environments. This is not an amusement park ride where everything is taken care of for you. You're responsible for managing your risk and the risk posed to any minors under your supervision. The purpose of this video is to make sure you understand the risks so you can manage them appropriately. After this, you'll go through a brief safety orientation with one of our staff members, and that's the perfect time to ask any questions you may have. For now, let's start by reviewing the gym rules, which you will find posted all around the building. It's your responsibility to make sure you and any minors under your supervision are following these rules at all times. Inner Peaks reserves the right to restrict climbing privileges from patrons that we find in violation of these rules, or if we feel they pose a threat to themselves or the well-being of other customers. First, all climbers and observers must check in at the front counter before entering the padded climbing areas. Spectators are welcome, but please recognize that you are spectating at your own risk. Please be aware of your surroundings at all times, especially when walking through archways. Injuries can occur even to spectators who enter the padded climbing areas. Climbers, please do not boulder with your feet above shoulder height from the ground, except in designated bouldering areas or on marked boulder problems. If you're bouldering outside of a designated bouldering area, please note that rope climbers always have right-of-way over boulderers. We'll talk more about bouldering in just a minute. Staff orientations, auto belay competency, and belay tests must be passed prior to using the facility. We do not allow any form of roughhousing, wrestling, swinging on ropes, or running. This is especially important for children who could be seriously injured by a falling climber if they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Please keep your children close to you at all times. Lead ropes may be checked out at the front counter, but you are also welcome to use your own rope to lead in this facility, provided you and your climbing partner have passed the lead climbing test with a member of the Inner Peaks staff. If you choose to use your own rope, it is your responsibility to make sure your rope is in an appropriate condition for climbing. Inner Peaks reserves the right to deny the use of personal equipment, including but not limited to belay devices, harnesses, and ropes at any time. Children under age 14 must be supervised by an adult at all times unless given permission to climb unsupervised by the Inner Peaks staff. In addition, no one under the age of 16 is allowed in the cardio and fitness area unless accompanied by a supervising adult or given permission by Inner Peaks staff. No formal or group instruction pertaining to top rope or lead belaying skills or lead climbing skills may be given by anyone other than the Inner Peaks staff unless specific permission is granted by a manager. Please make sure you report all accidents or equipment damage to the front desk staff immediately. Lastly, please keep all personal bags and equipment out of fall zones and do not take food or drink onto the carpeted areas.
All right, let's talk about the different types of climbing possible in this facility. During the rules overview, you heard us refer to something called bouldering. Bouldering is climbing close to the ground without ropes. Since you won't be attached to a rope, when you fall, you will hit the ground. The padded floor is designed to lessen the likelihood and severity of injury, but they do not eliminate the risk of injury. Injuries can occur when bouldering, and they can be serious. In order to boulder, we ask that you do not exceed your ability or comfort level. Remember that you and your well-being are your responsibility, and that falls can result in injury. The bouldering padding in our facility is all permanently installed. Understand that the padded floor does not ensure safety. Injuries can occur even when climbers fall directly onto a pad. There are a few different bouldering in our gyms. The feature you see here is at our south end location and is what we call top-out boulders. This means that you can climb all the way over them to the platform at the top of the feature. This adds some extra moves and an additional challenge, but is not without its share of risk. Falls from any boulder can and do result in injury, and the top-out boulders represent the highest allowed bouldering height in this facility. Our Matthews location does not have any top-out boulders. Once you reach the top of the boulder, you may downclimb the route. You cannot climb over the boulder at our Matthews location. If you are bouldering, it is important that you understand how to fall. Be mindful of the natural position of your joints when falling. Broken wrists and ankles are common when climbers lock their arms or legs and prevent the body's natural ability to absorb energy. If possible, bend your knees or elbows while landing on these extremities to help absorb the fall energy. Rolling away from the fall is another good way to help distribute the fall force, but be careful that you don't roll into spectators or under other climbers. Bouldering skills take time to learn and develop. Again, we urge you not to exceed your comfort, experience, or ability level.
Now that we've discussed the serious risks involved with bouldering, let's spend some time talking about roped climbing. In order to climb using the rope systems here in the gym, you will need to wear a climbing harness. Harnesses come in many shapes and sizes. If you have your own harness, please follow the manufacturer's directions for use. If you are renting a harness from us today, after the video, a staff person will help you get fitted into the harness you will be using. All right, now let's talk some ropes. Your first option for reaching the top of the wall is what we call an auto belay. These machines are a great option if you are here alone or with kids too young to hold the ropes for you. The auto belay is subject to operator error. If you do not use it properly, you will expose yourself to the risk of a serious injury or even death. To use an auto belay, you first have to clip yourself into the carabiner at the end of the machine's tether. Experienced climbers, please take note. Every harness manufacturer has a recommended connection point for a single carabiner. Typically, this connection point is the belay loop at the front of your harness, but please make sure you know and follow the recommended use for your personal harness. For new climbers or those using a gym rental harness, you will connect this carabiner to your harness as shown here. Once you are clipped in, we recommend that you familiarize yourself with the auto belay's lowering system. To do this, start by climbing to a short bouldering height. As we went over a moment ago, bouldering height in this case means your feet are never more than shoulder height off the ground. From this height, let go of the wall and allow the auto belay to lower you to the ground. Once you're comfortable with the system, you are welcome to use it to climb to the top of the wall. It is important to always stay directly under the auto belay device when climbing in this manner. These machines are not designed for swinging or pendulum movement, and should only be used in a straight up and down fashion. Every time you let go of the wall and allow the auto belay to lower you, please take a moment to make sure your landing area is clear of spectators. Others in the gym can unknowingly walk underneath you while you are climbing, and injuries are possible if you accidentally lower yourself onto another patron. To help avoid this, use the auto belay banner on the floor to designate your landing zone. Always make sure you reclip the tether back to the banner before walking away from the auto belay station. If at any moment you feel that the auto belay is malfunctioning, lowering unevenly, or making an odd sound, you must immediately notify a staff member who is trained to better evaluate the machine's operation. We're almost done. If you need to use the restroom or change clothes, we recommend you do that now before putting on your climbing gear. If you're ready to get started, please head back to the front desk where one of our instructors will finish your orientation. Thanks and have a great time.